Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Dead Space 2. We are entering the Ishimura ship from the first game. It has been kind of closed off. This feels a lot like Resident Evil 6 because there was definitely a section of the game that connected one area to another area quite like this. I wonder if perhaps there was some cross-contamination or sharing of ideas, or maybe blatant stealing of ideas that happened, because Resident Evil 6 might have been right about when this came out. And if the first game was based off Resident Evil 4, I'd have to do some research there. The joke here would be that I'm gonna end up on going through the Ishimura and not seeing any necromorphs at all, that the entire place has been cleaned out. That would kind of make sense. At most was a skeleton crew repairing the ship. Let's see. And this looks like a tramway, and I believe, even though my gun was out and I looked at it, it said chapter 10. I believe there's 12 chapters in this game. So this is the beginning.
There should still be a computer in the flight lounge. I can check the ship's status from there.
Are you okay? You sound a little nervous.
Last time I was here, things didn't go so well. Look, I'll contact you soon.
What's funny is now, like, there really hasn't been any communication on this level between Isaac and Ellie. That they all of a sudden kind of care about each other when that really wasn't well established. Yeah. I don't know why they would use these panelings to cover things up. Is this, like, what are you doing here? Are you going to cover every single surface with this biohazard panel? And then what? Is it just cloth? Are you just cleaning? Because it doesn't seem like this would magically fix bullet holes or anything on the ground. We're playing with light here, I think, more than they have so far. And this is just the first game all over again. It feels like they let a different team, like a different writer or a different director. Interesting how the flashlight that supposedly is on is leaving a shadow. It seems like they probably let somebody else write this chapter because it feels different. And I don't think we're going to go too far. I think we're just going to go around here and go up here into like a flight deck control. And we may not see any of the rest of the Ishimura. I mean, like very, very questionable what they're trying to do. Are they trying to, like, clean the place up, or? I don't know how the Ishimura would have been towed back into place. Here's some blood. And then they would have just given somebody a mop and a bucket and told those persons to start cleaning, and then put these new texture over things. Was this a necessity because this game, the old textures just weren't worth keeping? They didn't look good enough? I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. This is a roll of tape. And maybe they're doing some bait and switch here. Maybe these door textures and these floor textures aren't really what the game looks like, and they've changed some things. This would have been the first point where we would have run into a necromorph. and most of the crew that I was with in the first game would have died, very quickly isolating me. Let's see. And we have another save station over there, which I thought the save station was over here. Let's see what's behind this door. A text log. Let's see what this says. I don't know who needs a whole roll of toilet paper to wipe their butt of. Can they kick the butt of? So maybe there was an incident here where the Necromorphs did manage to infest the new sector. These toilets with things.
Go on. This is Hedrick. You really don't hear anything when you're cleaning these bathrooms? Every shift, I swear, I hear something in the walls like a scratching noise. When I stop moving, it stops. When I move again, it waits a bit, then comes back. Today, it followed me around right under my feet like it was stalking me. I can't take this in. The ship is cursed. It is a bad omen that it's here. I'm putting in for a transfer. You should too.
So the bathrooms were kind of quite unique in the first game. I don't want to say notorious, but they were interesting in the fact that they were actually animated and used in some way. When you think about like Resident Evil 4, maybe there's one or two bathrooms that are jokingly added in the entirety of the game. Interesting that they had a voice log there, and I could have missed it. Of course, I just heard something stalking me too, but like, what do I even care? So this is where you did this, and the Necromorphs attack.
Primary systems offline. Main centrifuge offline for repairs.
Damn it. That's what I thought.
What?
The gravity centrifuge is under repair. I'm gonna have to go down to engineering. This should be interesting.
Is it safe?
I don't know how it could be. I'll let you know.
Again, Isaac now has gotten really cocky and for sure of himself for kind of no reason. I mean, the last fight he was in, he ran away. And they're just writing it so that he has a relationship with Ellie, when if he was going to give any characterization to Isaac, he should have been in conversations with his hallucination of his dead wife. And we're getting little gas things, but I don't think the gas things are gonna hurt me. Now this would be interesting if it turned out, or if they tried to tell the story that Isaac was an unreliable narrator. There have never been necromorphs. It has just been the marker making people crazy, and Isaac throughout the entirety of the first game was just shooting regular human beings. That would be an interesting little twist. Fortunately, I'm fairly certain they don't ever even slightly imply that, or in any other way do anything that isn't almost 100% obvious. There could have been some subversion of expectations. There could have been some fear. we may be going down to the place where in the first game, if you had V-Sync on, you couldn't walk through the doorway. Yes, that is it right there, I believe. Yep, this is the room. And they're bringing back these, which it's kind of odd that you wouldn't have used that earlier in the game. I don't know if you really want to go back to the Ishimura this late into the game anyways. I feel like you might have been better off doing something else. Okay. Oh, don't tell me I upgraded everything here. Oh, I did. Well, flamethrower for capacity, I suppose. And rig. Do I really need air? No. I'll take one here, move forward, and let's see. One on the line gun to do damage, and flamethrower. One. I won't do flamethrower damage. That way I hold on to one node. I didn't realize I had fully upgraded my pulse rifle. Of course, I could always cheat here and stop using the plasma cutter and pulse rifle that was included in the base game and start playing some of the DLC versions of those weapons. I kind of would see the point of increasing my stasis too, and now that I'm seeing that, yeah, there's actually probably only 30 to 40 more upgrades that I could get before I'd have everything at the maximum. So it'd be funny if I couldn't walk through this door again. Or you know what they really needed to do is, since that was probably a bug from day one, is they needed you to just ever so subtly trip through that door as a nod to a bug. But it would have been better if they'd patched that out, because that was still a bug when I played the game years later. So, yeah, don't do a subtle nod to a bug that you never fixed. Fix the bug. This feels like this might be the intro to a boss section, where they're just going to have us hear something attacking us. Probably that big immortal thing. There's something that just rolled. I'm stepping on sticks, which are making sounds. So yeah, if I have to fight that big, like, unkillable character from before. We're hearing noise. I'm not sure that this layout is exactly the same as it was before. And there's just a lot of different signals here, which the subtitles are being very nice to translate in a way that you normally wouldn't get translated. See, the whole point of this is supposed to be like a PTSD thing. Interesting how the logos are glowing when you hit them with the light. That's kind of cool. Where Isaac is getting triggered and having post-traumatic stress. No. I do not believe I hit A there. Okay. We have one chapter 6, so we're just gonna overwrite the remaining chapter 6s. Just go in circles amongst the 20 save files we have. There's definitely a problem with making a game that has save stations all over the place and then not allowing you to use that many save slots. Particularly when you port it to PC, or like, I kind of get it that the Nintendo console, the Wii, had some craziness about limiting the amount of space you could use for a save file, and maybe the Xbox 360 had some of that too, but the vast majority of even the 360 and PS3 games, I think for the most part, were allowed to do as much as they wanted.
Go on. It's Hendrik. Did you come in last shift? Did anyone? I think it's just me down here now. I got lost last night when the lights went out, and I fell down a ramp. I think. Or someone tripped me. I'm all bruised on my left side and my ankle is swollen. Are you sure you guys aren't down here? I hear something near my locker. Screw this! I'm heading up. I'm never coming back here again.
Alright, and that door's locked. And this door is, I believe, the door we came through. Hearing these audio logs is slightly interesting, but also this feels like it should have been early in the game, or a different character having this experience, because we kind of already know that necromorphs exist, so unless you're going to subvert that realization and we find out, oh no, there actually aren't any necromorphs, or there were no more necromorphs on the Ishimura because you killed them all somehow, then why are we getting reintroduced to them? This can only really be a wind-up to a new boss-like creature, somebody that's really important. And I feel like an entire covered section like this is probably to indicate that actually you've gone to a new area that wasn't in the first game. I'm just picking up a ton of bullets. So I have to wonder if maybe I'm just collecting the remaining bits of bullets to help me fight the final battle. Let's see, I think I could probably use both of those small health packs and be fine. But there needs to be like one more suit that you would unlock. And every time I walk now, the ambient sound and noise is making little bits of noise. And now this is all torn and tattered, which implies to me that something happened here. That's cool. Little glow stick. I've got a fully charged weapon here. And it's not doing anything. Just... So I guess there's not even a reason for me to use my main gun since it seems like the pulse rifle gun is better in every way now that it's fully upgraded. I guess that's where we are at this level. And I only have like 2 uses of the stasis, and so when I'm at half a use on the stasis, I am in kind of an odd point. And this really isn't a game where the reloading is so slow that it makes sense to do what I just did.
Isaac, they're swarming into the ship!
Yeah, I know!
And here's the little guys swarming on me, doing damage. So, what does this really prove? Other than, yeah, there's Necromorphs. We've been dealing with them the whole game. Whoop-de-doo. Let's see. Somewhere around here was the point where we first used stasis. I believe it was this door, which was opening slowly, quickly, and closing very quickly, and then we had to stasis it to work our way through there. And then I feel like this area was inaccessible previously. We've got a power node. And we're just going up as soon as we hack this thing, which almost certainly in the process of hacking this, maybe something will decide to attack us. Although the game hasn't taught us that you should be on your guard when hacking, or you should turn around immediately after that point and look to see if something's about to attack you.
Okay, no Ellie, it isn't safe. But I'm on my way to the centrifuge.
Just be careful.
I'll call you when it's online.
And see, I just played Dead Space 1 about a year ago, and I'm really not getting any nostalgia for this. I imagine when I first played Dead Space 1, yes, there would have been some nostalgia there, some ideas. Like, I recall, I think coming down one of these, a necromorph would get right behind you, but in modern time, 2018 times, almost 7 years later,
Warning.
nothing.
The engineering deck has not completed final cleanup and decontamination.
Like, it's just slightly cool, but it also slightly feels like it's just a cheat so that the developers of this game didn't have to develop so many elements or so many level layouts. Like, I'm kind of glad to go back to this stuff. It's surprising that these glow, but the other logos in the game don't. A lot of what the first game was, too, I would say, was not particularly memorable or great experiences. Right. And see, we've got nothing. Here we have a diamond semiconductor, extremely rare electronic component for 25,000. We'll sell that. I wish I could sell some of my stasis packs, but not all of them. But because I can't do that, I think what I'm gonna do is take 3 nodes and as many pulse bullets as I can hold, and some health. Let's take a medium health too. So what I'm thinking is that I'll hold on to the main guns bullets and use pulse bullets instead. I think I'd be in a better position there. And let's go ahead and save again. I feel like I've saved no less than 3 times in this 30-minute episode. It seems kind of repetitive. We are at chapter 10 now, so that chapter 10 is important. We want to keep that at all times. Although honestly, if I was gonna go like hack my save file and try and play this game at this point, I really would think that I would want to just start the entire game from the beginning and be overpowered throughout the entire experience, which is what I think a New Game Plus experience would probably be anyways, unless you're playing on a really high difficulty. I'm also feeling like the scripting of events in this game, at least in the past couple hours, have not been great. It feels like in the first game you would save a file, or you'd go into a store, and when you got out of it there was fear and chance that something would attack you. Here it seems like you're perfectly safe and every attack is very predictable and very obvious. And it's just really questionable how much more of this game is important and how much more of this game exists. Now, we are a couple minutes shy of 30 minutes, but this really is just too good of a place to end. So, apologies for that. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, if you want to... well, let me try that correctly. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because all of that helps me with YouTube, tells them that my videos are worth watching. If you want a friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, or Steam, or Battle.net, all that information is down below. Also down below is information on how to friend me on Steam to gift me a game if you want to support me further, or support me through Patreon. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.